From Las Vegas, Sandy Kastel and friends.
Hi, and welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. This morning, we are going to have Chef Michael prepare one of his famous frittatas. Chef Michael, tell us how you're going to start.
Well, I ain't going to start at all. I want to know what I'm doing here today. We all should be just relaxing around the pool.
We are relaxing,
but
in the kitchen.
But I figured let's do something a little bit different because we're on the air. Brian, are we coming through pretty good, buddy?
You're coming through loud and clear.
Good.
Sounds marvelous. We wanted to do something a little bit different today. You know, it's just because it's the holiday.
It's a holiday.
And most people turn around and they just run a rerun. But I said, no, I said, Sandy, let's get the gang over. Let's get the whole camera crew over and, you know, pay time and a half.
And we know the Grossos are out there listening, and they're on their patio, and they've got the radio show blasting out to the golf course, and the Pascals are listening too, and having a cup of coffee and enjoying themselves, along with Jolie and Pirko. On their patios.
These are all special friends of ours that we love dearly with all our heart and soul. That's why we mention them all the time. But anyway, like today's a wonderful day, and it's just me and Sandy. We got up this morning. I said, you know something? I got an idea. And it's amazing. Like 30 minutes before the show, call John Stiles, get his butt, get the camera crew down here. We're shooting out of the house.
Call Ryan.
Call Ryan. Get this done. Go to Skype. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. But anyway, we had a lot of fun. Then I went to Smith's today. And I was trying to get a hold of John, Tom Stunick, the general manager. And I said, you know something, I got an idea. I said, maybe Thursday we could shoot a remote right there. Why not?
That would be great,
you know,
sure.
Right in the morning, you know.
Of course, he might need a little more notice than Thursday, Michael.
Well, it's only just us, you know. And then people coming in, and, you know, I always talk about Smiths and Smiths and Smiths. And here's another opportunity for people to go, you know, this is another thought I had in mind. Right. You know, instead of going into the studio, you know, and all the time, our guests could always meet us any place, anytime, anywhere.
Okay, enough chatter. Let's get to the work.
No, we don't have to get to the work. We got a whole hour. This takes 5 minutes to make.
Oh, come on, Michael.
Well, I ain't going to make it. My hands are in my pocket, and you see, folks, I am not going to.
Do you notice what his little apron says?
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen.
And I got to tell you, he has a cookbook, and we're going to bring it on in a little bit. It's called Don't Dirty the Stove. But we have a new cookbook that we're working on. It's called Don't Dirty the Kitchen. And folks, you're going to see why in just a few minutes. Once Michael gets started cooking in the kitchen, then we're going to call it Don't Dirty the Kitchen.
Anyway, Sandy always asks me, what's your recipe? You know, this is an old Italian recipe that I have, all right? And this is called a frittata. Frittata in Italian, it means an omelet. It's the simplest thing in the world, honestly and truthfully, to make. And it comes out fantastic. The only thing I want to do is flip it so Sandy don't get burned. But Sandy, I'll tell you what I'm doing. As you can see, the ovens, the gas is on. You get yourself a little Italian olive oil. Now, here's where you can use Italian olive oil at when you fry, because when you do, this one you can use it. Now, as you can see, now you got the peppers right there. Show them the peppers, Sam. Now, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, once you watch this on TV, as soon as John Stiles posts this, you'll see what we're talking about. You'll see the red, we got the red peppers and the green peppers and the eggs. Now, Sam, what I want you to do, this is a total of 3 peppers. I got 2 red and 1 green. They were 69 cents each. Again, got them at Smith's Frozen.
Smith's Frozen.
Smith's.
Slow down, Mike.
Yeah,
Slow down.
Smith's Produce.
Get your tempo.
So anyway, what I want you to do, Sam, get those beautiful peppers. John, you can zoom in on them peppers. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you see this tonight?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, these beautiful peppers are directly from Smith's Food and Drug, right here on Sahara and Durango in Las Vegas, Nevada. You too can shop at Smith's Food and Drug.
Go ahead, throw them in, hon.
Throw them in. Ah!
Be careful.
Be careful of the oil that it doesn't splatter.
All right. All right, now there's a lid. Ladies and gentlemen, what you'll see tonight,
the lid.
And what you do is you actually cover the peppers with the lid. And I'll tell you what. Come on, stop posing. Get this over with. Put that on. All right? And what you do is you put your lid on top of the peppers and you allow them to cook. Before this show is over, this will be done. And the reason being for that, Sam, is because the steam softens the pepper. And then you take the lid off and then you let it fry. As long as that lid is on that pan, I'm telling you folks, it ain't going to fry. It's going to get real soft and mushy. So you just want to time it just right. Keep your eye on it. and the rest. So as that's cooking,
And about how long do you want to time it?
what's that? I would say it takes about 6 minutes.
6 minutes, okay.
To be honest with
Start
you.
your timers now,
Start your
folks.
timers.
6 minutes, so
Now-
you can remind us.
Right. Now in the interim of that, as you got eggs over here. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 eggs. Now this is enough for, believe it or not, 4 people. All right. Now Sam, what I want you to do is, all right, show everybody, crack the eggs
In this bowl?
inside that bowl.
In this bowl, can I rinse it out first?
What's that? Oh my God, this girl's driving me nuts. Anyway, folks,
They
so how's your Labor Day, everybody?
I heard that you should rinse out when you're doing this. That you should rinse out your bowls and in cold water so that it keeps the eggs cold, right?
No,
Yes.
I know where you heard that at.
I heard that at Lowry's.
Well, go back to Lowry's then. So anyway, Sandy's got the eggs right over here, and she's cracking the eggs, folks. Now for those that are listening in live right today, once again, you'll see this whole show live on YouTube, and thanks to the courtesy and wonderful styles of Mr. John Styles, our cameraman and camera crew, who does a phenomenal job for us, so you guys can get up and look at this. So she's cracking the eggs on there. Anyway, how's everybody doing today? You know, remember 731-1230. Give us a call.
That's right. You can call in
Call
right
in
now.
right now, because
702-731-1230.
Right, and you can call us, and anything you want to ask would be fine. I know it's the holidays, and we're right here in our kitchen in Canyon Gate. We're shooting right at the kitchen. We got up this morning, you know, and I said, you know, Sam, let's do something a little different today.
And
Now-
that's true. We were thinking that because, you know, everybody else is at home or with family.
Sure.
They're fixing their meals. They're getting up. They're yawning. They're relaxing. We figured, why not cook from our own kitchen?
That's right. Now, I'm going to be talking to our engineer back at the studio to make sure
Always
everything is
wash your
copacetic.
dishes.
How we doing, Brian?
Good point, copacetic. Might need to say so myself.
Okay, I'm frying that. Are you picking up the sizzle?
I'm hearing it loud and clear. I'm getting hungry already.
Really? All right.
Can you smell the aroma
Oh my
of
God.
the peppers cooking?
Sandy, give me a mappine, please.
A moppine. Now,
Right
for
there.
those of you who are not Italian and did not grow up on the East Coast, a moppine is a towel, dish towel.
It's a dish towel. Oh my God, this smells fantastic.
Hi.
Thank you very much. This is what you call a dish towel, everybody. But we call it a moppine back east. Okay, I'm going to take this lid off,
Okay.
all right?
And he's flipping his peppers.
Flipping the peppers. Now, what I want everybody to do as you watching, Cindy, get the salt,
Okay.
okay? Now you can season this, believe it or not. You do it, huh?
Oh, my hands are wet.
Or maybe you want to wash your
Dry your
hands in
hands.
Ajax. Who knows? Go ahead. That's it. A little bit more than that. Don't be afraid, because the balance, that's great. Now add some pepper. You know, you're going to add your black pepper. Sandy right now, everybody's adding the black pepper to the pan. All right.
Adding black pepper.
That looks good, hon. That's great. And then over here, what else you got there?
A little parsley?
No, that's not parsley.
no,
that's
that's
oregano. You don't want to use
Oh, you
that.
don't want oregano.
And let's see what I got. I know I got the parsley. Here's the parsley.
Okay.
Sprinkle a little parsley on that.
Okay.
All right. Don't be afraid. That looks
One more?
beautiful. Yeah, a little bit more.
Here, let's open the other side.
Ladies
Hold
and
on,
gentlemen
wait.
out in Radio Land, you got to see what we got over here. That's good. That came out great. Okay, and actually, but at least
Where's my mop?
granulated. Here, use mine, huh?
Not enough.
Granulated garlic, which is really, really fabulous. Really comes out great here, huh?
Notice we have matching moppines.
Yes, go ahead. Granulated garlic. Very good. All right. That's marvelous. And then what you do is you can hear everybody back there. I'm flipping it. You know what you do? A lot of the chefs around town, what they do is they flip the pan. They flip it. You got to be very careful, folks, when you do that. You know what I mean? So that's frying right now. Now take it like another 4 or 5 minutes to fry. And in the meantime, Sam, what you got now? Make sure you got your little milk back there.
But I can do
Well,
this
put the
first.
milk in it.
I want to do this first.
Whatever
See, I
you
like
want.
to do
You
this
can.
first.
It ain't no right way. There's no wrong way of doing it. That's the way
Well,
you want to do it.
I like to beat the eggs first
Right.
and then add the milk. So.
Now, I add a little milk, but you can add water, folks. If you want to add water, that's okay. It makes it a little bit more fluffier if you add the water. And Sandy's right now beating the eggs, which is really wonderful.
Do you want them beef hard?
That's fine. That's fine.
But need to like whip them up and make them really frothy?
No,
No, okay.
no. And this is a frittata. John, are you zooming in on that? Could you zoom in on that pan to show the people once they watch this on television today? Could you see that? You got it? Hey, John's coming in a little closer
Oh,
here.
he's coming in
That's
close.
perfect. See, that's the way to do it.
Yes.
See how that looks?
Ah.
That is marvelous. Yeah, I'm watching it right now. See, that's what I'm
look
talking
at
about. That
Oh
looks
my
great.
God,
Wait
that
to
looks
see
so
this.
good. I'm
No,
getting
John,
so
I'm glad that
hungry.
you brought the camera off the tripod, and I'll tell you why, because I'm going to show how, while we put this together. That's the reason why I wanted to make that move. Brian, how we doing? Are we still coming in clear?
Of all the days that I had to be here in the studio instead of there in that kitchen.
Wow. Well, it's not feeling funny, everybody. Like I said, 731-1230. I know Flurry's out
Ryan,
there.
we're going to bring you some after the
We're going to
show.
bring you some after the show.
I'll drop it off on my way back.
Okay.
Yes, he'll drop it off on the way back. This looks fantastic. This is cooking right now. So that's still frying, and it comes
Oh
out
my gosh.
absolutely great.
Smells great.
And remember, and like I said, it's on the lines of like a quiche. It's the same way like a quiche. There's not that much changes that are there.
Well, what is the major difference between a quiche and this? Because you bake a quiche.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
A quiche is baked, and again, it's a quiche is more in a pie crust
Right.
type of thing.
Well, you don't have to use the pie.
You don't. I used to make that all the time. You know, and this is like I said, this is a very simple. This is a peasant meal. Now, my grandmother, I never remember my grandmother using red peppers. It was always the green peppers that
Yeah.
she used, always. And it was the peppers and egg sandwiches.
Do the red peppers cost more than the green peppers?
Believe it or not, they're the same price.
What about the yellow peppers?
You know, I very seldom use them. They're sweeter, but they come out to the same price also as well. They're great to make when you make your
There you
stuffed
go.
peppers.
But what's nice about it is that that adds a lot of color.
Right.
Yeah, then you've got a mixture of all the different colors.
Comes out great.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fantastic. Let me have it. Let me see. I got my grandmother's spoon.
Okay.
As you can see, this was my grandmother's spoon. You got it zoomed in here, John? Oh, here comes John Styles, ladies and gentlemen. Zooming in. Okay, look at over here. What's happening here? All right, as you can see this, look how beautiful that is.
Oh
I'm going to raise the
gosh.
flame a little bit.
Oh
And like I
my
said,
gosh.
folks, you know, working a stove with a gas stove, everybody, I want you to understand something. It's like a guy who's a welder. You got to know your temperature. Because if you're a welder and you turn around and you put the wrong heat for the metal that you're using, you can burn a hole right through it or actually stick the nozzle to the steel like I did many times.
Michael, I know a lot
Yeah.
of people use electric stoves, and for me, an electric stove, it's always difficult.
Don't leave, John.
It's always more difficult for me because it's like once you turn down the stove, it still takes a few minutes for it actually to cool down and then heat up again. But I know there's some new electric stoves, and I don't know what they're called, but there's one that just has the glass on it, and it just heats up.
Well,
and
the
then you
Grassos-
can touch it. You
the
know,
Grassos
it doesn't
have
hurt your
that.
hand. Yeah.
And
don't know
I
what that's
hate that
called,
stove.
yeah.
I mean, nothing like
Well,
working
you're
with...
just used to using the gas, I think, and so am I. I'm used to using a gas.
Well, everybody likes it. I mean, working electric stove is really difficult. It's, you know, it's the ultimate, but I got to tell you, you got to be very careful because it's metal that tones down. Or here, you can actually tone down the gas and know where
Right.
you're at. Okay, now here's the most important thing, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I know you guys are listening in out
Most
there.
important thing coming up.
You're all listening in, but what we're going to do now, Sandy's going to turn around
Uh-oh.
and she's going to pour
Pour.
the
I get
egg
to
right
pour.
in there. Now, Johnny, get a close-up on this. Here we go.
Is there a special way I should pour?
Nah, you pour whatever you pour. Just get it closer so it doesn't splatter, Sandy. Just pour it in, huh? That's it. Right. All right. And as you're going to see, what John Styles is doing right now, and look at the bouquet. Look
Look
how
at that.
beautiful, absolutely beautiful
I'm watching
this
it on
will
the
turn
camera
out.
right now. Oh
And
my
then what you do
gosh.
is you turn it over, because remember, you got a lot of egg. You got 6 eggs that are in there. Now you don't want it scrambled,
Right.
ladies and gentlemen. You want to have it nice. You want to make sure that it's going to be cooked through and through.
Is that why you're folding it?
Well,
like
I'm folding it, right.
over?
See what I'm doing here?
Right. Yeah.
And then I'm going to leave it alone so it takes form, so
Okay.
we can do the flip. So basically, it's got the form right now.
Okay.
All right. You put that down here like this on the side. I'm pushing the egg from the edge of the pan right now. I'm pushing it down, checking my
Temperature.
temperature. I'm going to lower it just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick up the lid and I'm going to put the lid on top of it.
Oh.
One more time, because what's going to happen is that the steam is going to cook on top of the frittata.
Oh, you can see it.
Yeah,
Yes,
see?
yeah.
And it's very important to work with that. This pan I had for years, and the pan is seasoned. So many times pan so it doesn't stick. Everybody wants you to know, just dial 731-1230. Sandy and I would love to hear from you.
You know, Michael, it's a beautiful day outside, but I know we can't probably get a good shot of that because then the light's shining in off the windows. But, you know, we've been pretty lucky lately. We've had some beautiful weather here in Las Vegas. And yesterday we went out and played golf with the Grossos.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, right.
And I did pretty good.
Yeah,
I did pretty good.
You were hitting some pretty good shots.
But
yeah.
on the 9th hole, there's a water, and I get up and, you know, and I cheat from time to time. I like to tee up, you know what I mean?
That's because it's a friendly game of golf. I mean, we're just playing best ball, and we're playing a scramble,
Right.
As Carl is reminding us. It's not called best ball, but a scramble.
I approached the ball and hit it beautifully, and then went gorgeusly right in the water. And that was the end of my
But it was a nice shot.
nice shot at my 9th hole. But we came out good, and like I said, as you can see now, John, come a little closer, as you can see everybody, see what's happening?
Oh my gosh, look at that.
See how it's...
That's really close.
Yes. See what you're doing, and remember, you got to lower that flame. You don't want it too hot. You know, lower that flame.
Now, should I get the table ready, Michael?
The table ready?
Yeah. Should I set up the dishes and stuff on the table while this?
Well,
is
I don't know.
cooking?
I just think we can do it from here because I'm concerned about him listening to us because we're coming through
But
here.
normally you would get your table ready.
We get the table, but I'll tell you what we can do, San.
What?
You can actually get that table ready right there.
Okay.
Why Sandy set the table. So anyway, it's
I'm gonna
Memorial
get a
Day.
couple
What's
of-
everybody doing today? What are everybody going to do today? Is it hamburgers, hot dogs, barbecue ribs? What are we doing? I know my friend Jolet's out there, and he must be thinking what I'm cooking today. And this is nice. This is a nice change, you know, doing something nice because we love everybody
We'll
out
set
there.
this
and it's
up
a lot
up
of
here,
fun,
and then when we're ready.
you know, shooting the show, and
You
that's
don't
why I
have
said
to.
this is
I'll
nice
just set it up.
because now we'll give everybody
There
an
you go.
opportunity to see what we're doing. Now, as you can see, what's happening right now, folks, is that the omelet
Oh,
is
I better
starting.
set up one for John too.
It's starting to
of
get a
course.
little bit thicker. It's getting thicker. John, come on over here for a second with your camera so that everybody in TV land, when they watch the film tonight or today, now what time will that be posted? So everybody knows.
By 3.
By 3 o'clock,
At the
just go
latest.
on at the latest. As you can see, folks, look at this. Look how nice. Do you see how it formed? That's how it forms. And then, like I said, you get your spatula and you take a look, all right, and you make sure you flip it around. Now, here comes a very important part. John, stay right where you're at because this is the key to this, and which is very, very important. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand, John, if you put that camera any closer, it's going to go right in the omelet. All right. What's very important is, see this lid right here? Okay, this is the key of a frittata. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you, please be careful when you do that. Once you got the form, you got to flip it, okay? You could broil it, but you'll dry it out. So you put the thing on top like this. All right, you hold it like this.
Is it ready?
Well, you got to flip it, all right? And then what you want to do is you grab it and boom, you turn it over. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this.
Wow.
Look how beautiful.
Wow.
All right? And now you put it back in here.
Oh, I see. So now you cook the other side.
Now the other side is being cooked.
Okay.
Thank you, Sandy, because we don't want to need that dish again.
Okay.
And then what you do, all right, as John Stiles is looking, now that's cooking. Now, as you can see, this is the back side of the frittata, of the omelet. You like that, eh, John, the way it looks? Looks beautiful, eh? Okay. Now, remember, this will feed 6 people beautifully. You'll have no problem feeding this 6 people.
And Ryan's saying, I'm glad you said 6 people because he's got an appetite for 3.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble now. All right. How we doing, Ryan? Everything okay? How we doing our commercial? We getting ready?
Wait just a few seconds there.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Now what I'm
Perfect
going to do,
timing.
folks, you just feel that. Now, you can tell by a touch. As you can see, I'm touching it. It's done. You shut your gas off. Put your lid. Now, again, everybody, today at 3 o'clock, you're going to watch this beautiful way how I make this frittata. You put it back over here. Grab it like this. You understand? Watch my wrist. Be very careful. Now, the reason why I'm saying this to you is because it's got to be cooked, because if you don't do it right and you flip it, all the juice will come out the side and your stove will be destroyed.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, you go like this, and then a quick like that.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, that is beautiful.
And look, ladies and
at
gentlemen, look
that.
how beautiful that frittata is.
Well,
Is
folks,
that-
if you are just tuning in now,
Right.
you are listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael, and he has just cooked a frittata for us. And we're going to take a short break and be right back after a message from our sponsors.
Yeah, call in 731-1230. Come on, give me a call. I want to talk to somebody. Get out of bed. It's the holiday.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. We have just had a special treat from Chef Michael. He prepared a frittata for us, and now we're going to sit down and we're going to eat it while we finish our show. Right. And here's a glass of milk for you.
Thank you. I got the toast on, everybody, so I'm waiting for the toast to be done. And like I said, in the morning, Sandy and I get up, we sit around here, and we have a nice meal that we eat. And I just heard the toast, and Sandy's going to run to get it. Now, John, could you get a close-up shot of this? All right, John's right now getting a close-up shot, and I'm going to show you the cuts that we're going to do. I'm going to cut it like, it's just like, as you can see, it's round, just like a 15-inch pizza. So what you do is you cut down the middle, folks. See what I'm doing here? Watch what I'm doing, everybody. I cut down the middle, and then I go this way. Now, if you want 4 cuts out of it, you can. Okay, remember, this is 6 eggs. This is 6 eggs. Now you can cut it again, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it, all right, so I can give Sandy a piece, all right, of the frittata, and one for me.
And save one for Ryan.
And one for Ryan, and see, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is how that works, all right, and I'm going to try this. I'm going to taste this, and let's see how this tastes. Here we go, because I know everybody out in Radio Land's listening. We got the Tuscany Grill out in Henderson listening, and Giancarlo. Giancarlo. He's rolling meatballs back here. Let me try this. Now, when you talk about a great omelet, this is to die for. Now, the ultimate is you get this, and you put it in an Italian bread, and you have a sandwich. So in the morning for breakfast, instead of bacon and eggs and pancakes, this is an Italian omelet frittata, which is absolutely so delicious, you know. And right now I got the red peppers, and as I'm tasting these red peppers, they're just absolutely, there's no words to express the bouquet and the flavor.
Don't choke yourself, Michael. Don't choke yourself.
It's just great. Absolutely great. So I'm going to make a toast. Here's a toast to every. All right, honey. All right, I'm waiting for Sandy. Here's a toast.
There's your toast.
And talking about toast, I got
toast. Toast.
We got toast.
And we have a little pomegranate jelly, just in case.
Oh, how nice.
Obviously, you have your own kind of jelly, whatever you like, but it's nice sometimes to have a little extra jelly. Okay, let's see.
Well, here's a toast to all you wonderful people out there. May you have a beautiful holiday this morning.
And that's your toast.
And make sure that you love the people that you're with. Forgive the ones that hurt you. Okay? And keep your faith above a cloud, because they'll never let you down.
Oh my
gosh. As my father would say, bon de salud.
Bon de salud.
Ain't that great? So we're here right now eating that.
Taste we're going to eat in front of you.
Oh yeah, we're going to eat in front of you.
This
is great. What do you taste this?
Yeah.
Brian, how we coming in? Pretty good?
I'm getting hungry.
Oh man, that's good. Right now,
may not be any left.
Oh my God, no. I promise you, the rest you can take to the crew in the studio. It's a great meal, and it's a very healthy meal. And as you can see, folks, it's very, very easy. So, Sandy, today is a wonderful day. What are we going to do today? What's our agenda today?
Well, I've got 3 appointments already today, even though it's a holiday, because a lot of times people that are in business doing this kind of thing, whether they're artists, singers, performers, dancers, they still are working on their craft. They're still making plans. They're still making arrangements. What we're doing is we're getting together today with David Taylor. And David Taylor, along with John Stiles, are going to be filming our TV show, which is coming up soon, on Channel 6 and other affiliates. So we're getting together with David Taylor, and we're going to do a pre-production meeting.
How exciting. Do I need to be there? I don't need to be there.
Of course you need to be here because you're part of it. But also, we're going to take a little time to get some swimming in and relax a little bit, because it is, after all, a holiday. And we do want to enjoy and relax, and it is important, as we know, with our busy schedules, to book in a little time for relaxation. I'm going to have another bite.
We want everybody to know that Friday we'll be at Sienna's Italian Trattoria.
That's right.
Because they're remodeling their place. So today is demolition. They're ripping that joint in half.
I know.
Making the stage bigger, making bigger so people can see the show better. So everybody out there, we want you to know.
Yeah.
that Friday's the big day. My buddy Jimmy Melodor, he's getting ready. He's been practicing the horn. We got Joey Vespi, always dyeing his hair, which I love, because I need to dye mine too. You know what I mean? What happens when you pass 60 years old, boy, the hair starts to turn gray.
We'll see Spencer out there, David DaCosta.
David DaCosta's out there.
And of course the fabulous band with Chad Michaels on piano, Joey Vespi on drums, and of course Spider on bass.
One of the best. One of the best.
But also, we got to remind everybody to call and make a reservation. Sienna's Italian, authentic trattoria, and that's at 9500 West Sahara. So instead of Wednesday night, because they're going to be closed on Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Sienna's will be closed because they are renovating. They're taking out that entire wall that's above the bar, and what they're going to do is make that whole bar into a U-shaped bar so that our friends and family and guests can all sit across on the bar and they can see the show better. So it's going to be wonderful. Yeah, and then eventually they're going to be raising those tables back there in the back, and they're going to be making them high tops also. So the whole idea is so that everybody can see the wonderful entertainment that's going on there at Sienna's.
They're a great bunch of people.
And you know what? Also, there's Kent Foot on Thursday nights. And Red Velvet is there on Friday nights, and they've got a lot of different things coming in there nightly. So really you need to check us out. This Friday, that's the grand opening at Sienna's Italian Authentic Trattoria.
Right, we'll be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's amazing. I asked Giancarlo, I said, Giancarlo. I said to him, are you going to be rolling meatballs all through this? He says, unfortunately, I am.
He bakes a lot, too.
He does. What a great baker.
And that's one thing that you don't do.
No, you know, I got to tell you something. My grandmother, unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. My aunts did. But my grandmother never did the baking. She did the cooking. You know, and as a kid, you know, like this meal here, John, I'm talking to John Stiles, everybody, behind the camera. This meal is the simplest meal to make, and every time that we talked about it, Sandy would say, what are you going to make today? Again, this morning I woke up. I said, I know it's last minute. I woke up at 7 o'clock this morning, and I says, I think we should, why don't we try this? And Sandy said, yeah, get a hold of John. So poor John, you know, rushes over
on the phone, we said,
get him over here, change your plan.
Change your venue.
And if it works out good, this works out good, and the quality is good, ladies and gentlemen, because remember, we're in our house, we're not in the studio.
That's right.
We're sitting in our house, you know, and I'm sweating my cojones over here. You got the air conditioner on?
It's the heat from the stove, honey.
My God, is it hot in here, John? Is it me? It's hot in here. Put the air conditioner.
It's the heat from the camera.
You know what I mean?
And all the lights.
Unbelievable. It is kind of a little warm in here. So anyway.
This is finger looking good, folks. You've got to try this.
Good. Don't eat no more. You know what I mean? Hon, can I get some more milk? This was delicious. You know, I like milk. You know what's funny? You really want to taste milk, ladies and gentlemen, when you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, before you eat anything, drink a glass of milk. You can taste everything. You know what I always wanted to do? Funny, I got to tell you this.
Uh-oh. You're not going to do it on TV, are you?
No. I always, believe it or not, one of my, what do you call it, bucket list? Is that what people say?
Bucket list.
One of the bucket lists that I wanted to do was to go on a farm, and I always wanted to drink a fresh glass of milk. John's shaking his head. Why are you shaking your head, John?
You really don't want to do that.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't. Someone told me it's delicious.
It doesn't taste like what we're used to drinking.
No, not at all.
But actually, you know, I go over to Whole Foods and get the milk there that's what do they do? Sometimes they do unpasteurized or organic milk.
Right.
And I got to tell you, the taste is a little bit different, but you get used to it. And, you know, as we're all doing, and we have that program, you know, called Staying Fit and Fabulous Forever. And what's important is that we are doing everything in moderation. If you do everything in moderation, you can have everything you want to eat, as long as you're not like overindulging in one thing or the other.
You know,
sometimes, you know, when we do, we get all excited, and maybe we go through a phase where we're eating, you know, ice cream every night and milkshakes every night.
I do. I just bought another thing of Rocky Road. Unbelievable. Wait, I got to tell you something. I got it since we're on camera.
No.
I got it. No,
Rocky Road, no milkshakes. No,
I'm not.
Michael.
I'm
talking about something here.
All right, go ahead.
I'm talking about
Go ahead.
Incorporating, watch out for that cable.
I'm
talking about incorporating healthy habits into your daily living, especially if you want to make a change. You know, we're all in different shapes and sizes, and I really don't think that we need to focus so much on being skinny, because a lot of times when we think about doing a diet or taking off 10 or 15 pounds, people get the notion that they have to look like somebody else. look like yourself, be yourself. We are all different shapes and sizes.
Right.
And there's a reason for that, because we are unique. And as he brings out the ice cream, Michael.
I have to give a plug to Smith's.
I gotta tell you, you know, it's tough to stay on any kind of, you know, a formal kind, not even diet, but living patterns, you know, lifestyle patterns. And but
Okay.
since I've met Chef Michael, I put on a few pounds, and you know what? It's
A few?
It's okay because I have fun. But also, I'm back in my dance class. I'm doing my workouts. And I'm adding more walking, more swimming, and things like that back into my daily routine.
I
And,
put Sandy in my arms last night, and you know, we're laying in bed, and she rolled over. She rolled over to get something, and I went, I can't breathe. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see
What is this? Blue,
Wait a minute,
blue?
I'm going to tell you something.
Another plug.
Listen, I love Smith's. If it wasn't for Smith's, we would not be on the air. Let me tell you something. Bluebell Ice Cream Rocky Road. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain something to you.
It is so good.
I'm from Philadelphia, born and raised in South Philly, and it was Breyer's Ice Cream in Philly. Not Dreyer's.
But Breyer's.
Breyer's Ice Cream. And when I was a kid, we had 4 flavors. And I remember going to Jenny Red Top's across the street. She had strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, butter pecan. And then a new flavor came out called vanilla fudge. And those days, it was, for me,
It's making me hungry.
it
and
was
I'm eating.
10 cents a scoop. And the scoop that they gave you was humongous.
Humongous.
You know what I mean? You could not believe it. And I got to tell you, folks, so I go to Smith's, and you know, any store, they got a gajillion different brands. You got Ben and Jerry's, you got Breyer's, Dreyer's, Anderson's. So I
and
got,
you got Kroger.
Kroger, yes.
You got Kroger brand.
Kroger brand.
Which is very good, you know.
So anyway, I got this, and I know Sandy loves Rocky Road. Now, many times at night, we'll watch TV. We don't want to eat late at night, so I'll make a milkshake. All right? And I got to tell you something, folks. Listen to me.
I told him to give it to me. in a little small glass like this.
Bluebell ice cream. It was $4.95 for a half a gallon. I just bought another one. I'm telling you, it is the best Rocky Road that I have ever tasted in my life. It was great. So, ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor. Go to Smith's and pick up some Rocky Road. You know, I need somebody to do me a favor out in Radio Land.
What's that?
I want somebody to call in. I need somebody to call in. Let me wait.
702-731-1230.
Yeah, I need somebody to call in.
Matter of fact, guys, we do have a caller on the line. We have Barushka who just called in.
Who do we have on the line?
We have Barushka.
Barushka.
Barushka. Hey, Barushka, how are you?
Hello?
Barushka, are you there? Yes, I am here.
Hi.
Hiya, Barushka. You're coming in loud and clear. You know, we're shooting the show from our house. And today at 3 o'clock, just go on YouTube, and John Stiles will have this loaded up so you can see exactly what we're doing. He made a beautiful omelet. How can we help you? What could we do?
Hello?
Yes.
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what can we do for you, Barushka?
Yes, I said, Michael, yeah, I am listening to your program, and I was referred by Steve, and I really love your program, and I would like to know how to make minestrone soup. I am from Peru, but I love Italian food.
Oh, she wants to know how to make minestrone soup.
Minestrone soup is very, very easy. Okay? You got your pencil and paper? All right?
Yes.
Okay, this is what you do, and like I said, today, go on YouTube and you'll see. So I'm going to talk right into the camera. Barushka, first of all, thank you so much for calling in to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. I'm just an added attraction here. But anyway, this is how you make it. You get your onion, your garlic, your celery. Onion, garlic, celery. And you saute it. You saute it in butter.
All right.
And you add a lid to it. All right? When it's nice and soft, when everything is soft, you let it fry just a little bit, get a little golden brown. Now for your juice, you get yourself a can. Now this is for 4 people. 1 can of the tomatoes, the diced tomatoes in a can. You add 1 cube of beef bouillon.
Wow.
Beef bouillon. You add to that. Then you add your salt, your pepper, your parsley, your granulated garlic. All right? You add a full can of the tomatoes. To see the tomatoes in the can, you dump it out and then you fill with water. Oh, I'm sorry. And you add two big bouillon cubes of beef broth. And that'll make a beef. And what happens, this is where you're going to get your minestrone soup from. You don't want it to be like a pasta sauce. You want it loose.
Right.
And then the last 10 minutes of that sauce, of that what you're cooking, because it's a beef base, then you add your cantalina beans, which is the red beans. I hate red beans.
Cantalina?
Yeah, the cantalina beans, or the red beans in the can.
Okay.
Okay, you can use the white or you could use the red. I prefer the white. I don't like the red. They're kidney beans. They're too big. And this takes you no more than an hour to make. But the base of this minestrone soup is a beef base. Okay, a beef base. Now, when I was at the restaurant, I would make the beef bones, the beef soup. It's called a stock. And that's what I would use. So that's how you make your minestrone soup. Now, the kind of pasta that you use, you could use ditalini pasta. This was really short. Or you can use the elbow macaroni, which is good if you like it. Really and truthfully, any pasta that you want, you could use to that.
Why does it make a difference if you use a thicker pasta versus a smaller, thinner pasta?
Well, because when you're eating a soup and you put it on a spoon, the whole thing of the soup is once you put that spoon in your mouth, you got the complete package.
Soup. Okay.
Right. You start talking about a lot of pasta, you're biting into it, and it's biting off, going back into the bowl. Anytime you eat soup, you want that kind of soup to be nice and flavorful. And that's how you make the minestrone soup. It's very, very easy to make. And for calling in, Baruska, my engineer is going to get your name and your address, and we're going to send you 2 complimentary show tickets to see a phenomenal show that's on the Strip. We thank you so very much.
She can pick them up right at the show.
Yes.
At KLAV.
Yeah, or you can go, if you want to go to KLAV, you can go there. We have the show tickets right there to pick up.
Right.
But if you would rather us mail them to you, we have no problem doing that. Okay. Is there any other questions you would like to know?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Baruska.
Thank
you very much. Watch today at 3 o'clock. Boy, that was nice of her.
I know. You know, it's so nice because all these dishes that you prepare, Michael, are very simple to make.
Right.
Anyone can make them. And you're always using this, mostly you're using the 4 simple spices. Salt, pepper, parsley, and garlic.
That's it.
But it's granulated garlic.
Right.
And then mostly you're using regular like canola oil when you're cooking. But today you did use the olive oil. So tell us, why is it different and why did you use the olive oil today but not on most of the other dishes for cooking?
A lot of people that are out in TV land, olive oil is expensive, okay? Has a certain flavor to it. It's very heavy. Do me a favor, Sam. Go into that one more time. Take a small bite. Here, let me cut a little piece.
Okay.
All right.
Another bite?
Take another bite.
Force me, force me.
All right.
Okay.
Now, I want you to put that egg that you're eating. Now, taste that. Do you feel the moistness? It's not dry.
It's fluffy.
Okay? That's what the milk did. The milk and the olive oil, what that done, it made that omelet so deliciously moist. That's the hook to it.
Yeah.
All right? That's the whole thing in a nutshell is when you make that. Because many times when you go to Denny's or you go to, one of these fast food restaurants and you have an omelet, every time I eat it, you know what I mean? Even though they use fresh eggs, it's dry. There's no character, there's no charisma, there's no personality.
Well, not always, because every Denny's is different, Michael.
No, I'm not saying,
So,
I'm saying the
I don't
average.
want to say anything, I mean, because the thing of it is sometimes it's dry, and...
All right, every time I went in, it was always dry. All right, so anyway, I'm not saying it was bad, but I'm saying to you, when you get an omelet, and when I say...
You want it to be fluffy.
People say character, personality, what are you, nuts? We are talking about a person. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about food. Food is very personal in life. It makes us feel good in the morning. It starts our day. It ends our day. We feel good when we eat something that makes us happy, it makes us happy. My father, God rest his soul.
Not only nutritional,
Right.
but you want the flavors to be good. You want, because nutritionally, if we just went and took the ingredients and put them on our plate to eat, just so that we would get the nutrition in it, and didn't really care about how all the other things, then it would be kind of boring. So what you're doing is, not only as you're preparing this, you're creating a beautiful dish.
Right.
Because you mixed in the different colors, okay, which to our eyes appeals to us, right?
Right.
And it's nice and frothy, and you've got, you want some more milk?
Yeah, thanks.
But so you've got nutrition and also the environment when you're eating. You want to set a nice plate. Set yourself up. Sometimes we're always on the run. We're grabbing something quick to eat. Grabbing a piece of toast as we're running out the door. Grabbing a banana as we're running out the door. Grabbing something as we're running out the door. And it was really important to slow down a little bit. Take your time and relax, dear. Relax. And enjoy a beautiful meal. Well, let me finish.
Go ahead.
I mean, you want to enjoy a beautiful meal. Sit down with your family. Put the phones to the side. Turn off the TV. Sit and relax and enjoy the nutrition and the good conversation and your nice environment allows you to enjoy.
It's funny. Sandy's talking. I could hear God rest my father's soul. I could hear him. If he was alive today, nobody would be saying right now, "Who gives a rat's ass about tradition? Give me something to eat." That's my father.
Well, because he was out working, and then when he came home, and that's the thing. That's different about yesterday than today. Because, the women in the kitchen, they were always in the kitchen.
So they
His
did.
grandmother, they were always in the kitchen. They walked around with aprons on all day long. They had babies and cooked in the kitchen. I mean, what? It's a little different today. We're out, we're leading our full lives, we've got careers, and both of the couples have, both of the people in a couple have careers a lot of times, and they're busy. So it's important to take a little time and to fix a little something that you can sit down and enjoy together.
John Stiles, do you know what the #1 shows are on TV today?
Cooking.
Cooking shows. I remember the Galloping Gourmet. Remember him? He was a funny guy. He did time. That guy did time in prison too. What happened was, it was funny about that guy. He used to have a bottle of wine. He used to hit the booze. He was great. And then he had Julia Childs, and then you had her, right? She came out and did what she had to do. And then the rest was history. And they were like, people really didn't take him serious. Now today, it's different. That's why Sandy and I...
Everybody's a chef.
Everybody's a cook. But here's the problem, folks. Every show that's on TV, you people don't cook like that. They
Not
don't.
At home.
Not at home.
Not at
It's
home.
too complicating. So that's why...
And it takes too long.
Takes too long.
And you have too many ingredients. The thing of it is sometimes when you're doing a recipe, and I've done this, I open up the book and I cook, out of the book, right? And I'm going, oh, okay, I have to have saffron. Oh, I don't have saffron. I got to run to the store and get... You've got to go to the store every time you cook a new recipe because you don't have half of this stuff in your kitchen on a regular basis. So with a lot of these dishes, most of these dishes, it's so simple because you have 4 ingredients. Salt, pepper, parsley, garlic. I can't even say it. Salt, pepper, parsley. It's kind of like a tongue twister. Salt, pepper, parsley, garlic.
And when you get into...
Salt, pepper, parsley, garlic.
Can't get a word in,
Salt,
folks.
pepper, parsley, garlic.
When you get into arrowroot, people say, "What the hell is arrowroot?"
What is arrowroot?
Yeah, right. And if you go to the stores like Sage. Sage is used for a lot of poultry.
Yeah.
I had somebody made meatballs once, and they put sage in it.
Well, yeah, but that's something different.
Well, guess what? Don't invite me for dinner. No, but I'm saying, that's okay. Now they have turkey. They have turkey meat. I make a great turkey meatball.
Right. And all of these dishes, when you see somebody making something like this, a frittata. Also, you can use this. You can make this with egg beaters. Obviously, if cholesterol is an issue, and you can't eat a lot of eggs or something. And so every single dish that Chef Michael does can be prepared with turkey meat. You can do ground turkey meat if you're making the meatballs.
Right.
So there's ways of making things healthy. What are you doing?
I bite my nails. I'm nervous over it.
I just wanted to say, don't forget, we've got WEMA, Women and Men in Music and Arts, and that's the nonprofit organization that is about empowering artists of all ages through education, mentoring, and scholarships. And we've been very fortunate for several months to have Chef Michael preparing the meals for us. But also last time we had truffles and bacon. They brought some wonderful dishes. And then we had Café de Cebu. Shallow, she brought want some pork?
How birdie!
And so, you know, it's so much fun for us to be able to offer these variety of different things to you and to our audience. And we love it when you call in at 702-731-1230. And as always, we love to give you show tickets, which you can pick up at KLAV. We just leave the list of the names at KLAV, and you can come by and pick up.
We like to give a shout out to T. Fox and the gang with Robert Gordy Jr., the whole gang at the Fiesta. Ladies and gentlemen, on Thursday, make sure you go out there.
Yeah, to the Fiesta.
Right, for food. Yeah. Don't forget our very special friends at the Tuscany. Lou, I love Lou with all my heart. I never met these guys are my kind of people. It's amazing. We always, you know, it's like going to my grandmother's house, going out there. Again, I got to give a shout to the Giancarlo at the... what's the name?
Siena's Italian Authentic Trattoria.
I keep forgetting what we're singing. What the hell does trattoria mean? What does that mean?
I think it means Italian Authentic Restaurant.
Does anybody know what that? I gotta ask them, because every time I talk, I say, "Excuse me, John. My name is Giancarlo. My name is Giancarlo."
Also, Giancarlo is such a great chef.
He is.
But also, he bakes, and he makes a lot of wonderful dishes, and he has a beautiful deli over there. If you're looking for the meats and the cheeses and the tortellinis and the what does he make?
Well, I like the sciarells.
The gnocchis.
Well, that's the pasta.
And he's got that big can of olive oil. He's got that really good olive oil and the balsamica, you know, from Italy.
You know, he has
you got to check it out.
He has a very thick accent. You know that.
Now the fun part.
Are you cleaning? You're cleaning up.
I know.
Sandy's cleaning up, everybody. While Sandy's cleaning up, I can tell you a story that Giancarlo told me. Now, when you meet Giancarlo, he has a very thick Italian accent because he was born in Italy. And I said, "Are you really sure you were born in Italy?" And the man, John, took off his shoes and socks and showed me he has purple feet. And I said, "Okay, sir, you are an authentic Italian." You know, because he steps on the grapes. And I do love a homemade Italian wine. I haven't had a glass of homemade wine in a long time. Now, believe it or not, Sandy's coming up right now, and we're going to show you, folks, that there's my cookbook called Don't Dirty the Stove. Now, that cookbook was done in 1992, and I dedicated that cookbook to my grandmother, my Uncle Frank, my Uncle Dom, Franny Franco, my friends and people that we knew. And it's a little story about them and their recipe. And it's amazing, but it's time to move on and to increase that book, because we got Diana Pascal, who makes the best biscotti you've ever tasted in your life.
Yes.
And naturally, the chicken Pascal.
And Lisa Grasso.
The Grassos.
She made the, what was that, the ziti?
Well,
she
told me the truth.
Gosh,
she went to Smith's.
Yeah, but she got the ingredients there, but she prepared it herself.
When I went to her trash, I seen Swanson's. I seen a Swanson box.
You did not. Lisa made a great dish.
Yes, she did. It was great.
And you know what's funny is I think Lisa just wants us all to think that she can't cook, you know, but she absolutely can. And how are we doing on our time, Ryan?
How are we doing?
Can you believe that we're almost down to the last couple of minutes?
No, you're kidding! Impossible! We no way it went by that fast.
Well, anyway, we just want to remind everybody, check out our YouTube, Sandy Kastel and Friends, and with Chef Michael, and John is going to be posting our YouTube video up there this afternoon in a couple of hours. Also, check out and like our Facebook page. It's Sandy Kastel and Friends. And also, what, Chef Michael?
My menu.
And what about your menu?
So you want to pull it up so everybody can see it?
Oh, here's your menu. Oh, here's his menu. Chef Michael's specials. Here's some of Chef Michael's specials. Grandma Julie's meatballs, linguine alfredo, pasta alla grassa, chicken marcella, and chicken neapolitan. Did I say that okay?
No.
No.
But that's all right. You gave a good college try.
But the idea is also go to our website, wimafoundation.org. That's WIMA foundation.org, where you can become a member for only $35 a year. And you can support supporting other artists in our local community.
And if you'd like to join my organization, okay, with Carl Grasso, you just have to open with 100 million, and you could come in and be a member.
Anyway, if you're just tuning in now, I'm sorry you're too late, but you are going to have a wonderful surprise for you on YouTube today, so check it out, YouTube, and be with us, let's see, tomorrow morning, we'll be back here on KLAV, so check it out, at KLAV 12:30 a.m., Monday through Friday, here with Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael.
I don't know, I got out, I was drunk back in again!